Throughout the years, we have heard many stories of kids who have been desperate to get their hands on weekend food, even breaking into a school after they had been sick and they knew the long weekend was ahead of them. Through the years, we've also heard stories from teachers about how their students will tell them they just go to bed early on a Friday and a Saturday and a Sunday night because they want to forget about being hungry. It was 2008, and I remember when I began hearing that kids in my community were experiencing food insecurity. I had such a heaviness. A recession had hit our economy hard, people were losing their jobs, and child hunger was real. Teachers especially noticed weekend hunger because students were hungry and unable to listen and learn on Monday mornings. Some were acting out and even experiencing anxiety. I was on staff at Fairhaven Church at the time. I wanted to help kids experiencing hunger over that 68-hour gap of the weekend, and I knew my church would want to help too. A few of us began praying and dreaming about how God could use us to shine His love and light into the lives of hurting kids and their families. We wanted our families to know that this food was a gift from God because it ultimately does come from His hand to our hand and into the hands of kids, hand to hand. Tom Tenbrink was the first superintendent to say yes to hand because he also saw the need in his students.
As I began to talk about it, there were people in our community that weren't happy about it, quite honestly, because they felt it gave our community a black eye. But the reality was that there was a lot of things happening behind closed doors that people really didn't know about, and that was that we had children that were going hungry, and we needed to do something about that.
After forming a plan and a process with the principal of our local school and receiving $1,000 in donated food from members at my church at Fairhaven, Hand to Hand began in this cabinet with 3 of us delivering hope through a bag of weekend food packed with love and prayers to 19 kids. We placed the food discreetly into their lockers on Fridays when no students were around. Within a year, we were in 8 new schools with 8 new church partners because people heard about our impact and they wanted to bless, feed, and pray for hungry kids in their local schools too.
We were beginning to start a church plant, and we said yes to Hand as the first thing that we did. I think God kind of chose Hand for us. It was His way of wanting to start His church in my city.
Many compassionate and generous churches have continued to join us over the years, helping us partner with more schools. And then generous businesses and individuals, foundations began to join us, which led to rapid growth and even more kids having access to weekend food.
It is an incredibly rewarding experience to work with Hand to Hand. They immediately came to the door at a very large scale and provided meals on a weekly basis for well over 100 of our kids. The diligence, the privacy, and the empathy that they did it with was unbelievable.
From the beginning, we used donated space for our office and warehouse. But in 2021, we purchased and renovated an old grocery store where Hand to Hand now operates. In less than a year, we were debt-free. And we also began providing food over Thanksgiving, Christmas, and spring breaks. The generous support of the West Michigan community allows us to run hard toward our vision. Our vision is that every school, from early childhood through high school, will have a weekend food opportunity so that every child can have food placed directly into their hands. There is room for you to join us. We need more churches, individuals, and businesses to link arms with us to end child weekend hunger right here in West Michigan. Because a hungry child hurts, and together we are Hand to Hand.